Welcome back to the final part of the event, the solution. That was such a stupid trap to fall for. This must be the 12th floor. It won't be easy to get back. I always thought it was strange, this question in the back of my mind, wondering who you were. You were constantly in on your shadow, but I always thought of you were odd. I always felt something off about you. You appeared before me every single time, all the time. No intention of introducing yourself, then let's start with checking answers. First of all, you kept your identity hidden to the very end so that the plan to destroy the city wouldn't be leaked, right? That's bullshit. Ain't it nothing to do with prudence or cowardness either, because you had already shown yourself to us straight up. You kept this side of yourself hidden and acted like you had never even heard of Flea. It's the honest and fearless. I know it. Second, you started this plan 6 years ago. Maybe you had an evil idea to crush out Orario long before that. Is undoubtedly when the actual plan itself started to take shape. With the catalyst being the Flow 27 nightmare. On that day, the corrupted spirit hiding in the deep levels, so more precisely, a fragment of it was drawn to the low floors by something. That was where you first learned of its existence, the final piece you needed to complete your plan. And then related to that, the third point, after making contact with the corrupted spirit, you brought together the remnants of Evilus. Never showing yourself, just using Revis and the masked creature to pass on orders. While it seemed like you were skillfully manipulating Evilus and the underground forces, you were actually between a rock and a hard place. And that's because you had to accept the creature's irrational desire to search for Aria. Our first encounter with those man-eating flowers, that incident Joan monstrophilia, because your creature was pestering you. You did it to search for Aria. You didn't actually want to go through with it, so maybe you didn't really care either way. When I found out that the guild that Oranus was hiding something, you tried a bunch of schemes to sever any trust I had in him, didn't you? So that it would be easier for you to move around in secret those drunken warnings about Oranus were in service to that goal. I should tell you now, I know who Arya is. If the corrupted spirit that has consumed so many spirits is looking for it, then Arya can only be a being descended from a spirit. Which means either an actual spirit or someone who has the blood of a spirit in their veins. The corrupted spirit at the Flow 27 nightmare, it had to be drawn there by something, and something was Ace. When she used Ariel in the dungeon after joining my familiar, that's when the corrupted spirit first noticed her existence. To gain the cooperation of the underground forces, you had no choice but to go after Ace like you meant it. That's why you had no choice but to get us swept up in this. Here's my answer. The true identity of Anya is... it's definitely the honest. The first time I noticed something out of place was when I was headed for the pantry on the 24th floor. When I was talking to Beth, I could feel magic. I was the only one who felt it. As long as your magic's the only useful thing you got, you'll never be anything more than baggage. What was that just now? I swear I could feel magic. The next strange thing was the very first time I entered Knossos. You intentionally appeared in front of us there. You pretended not to notice us while purposely letting us follow you. Also, you could lead us to the entrance of the labyrinth. After we were separated from the captain and lost inside Knossos, you were trying to let me flee outside. And the last oddity was when my precious friend was slaughtered before my eyes. It doesn't make any sense. Why did you bother to help me? We were in the middle of a section of the 9th floor with Gareth Scoop. How did we end up all the way at the entrance of the dungeon with Aiki? How did we manage to escape all the way until we were right in front of the exit? You were pretending to attack us, but you were actually just chasing me to the entrance of the labyrinth. You were trying to keep me away from Knossos, even if that meant breaking my heart. Isn't that right, Miss Felis? When did you figure it out? What the hell is this? Didn't that elf die in our last battle? We saw it Nides, what the fuck? Got eaten by a monster right in front of us. That's not possible, how? I didn't figure it out until Loki talked to me with the others. I never even considered the inconsistencies. The masked creature is someone you know well, Etheria. But the more I listened to Loki's story, the less certain I became. Did you really die? I started thinking, you really might be alive. After talking to the captain, there was nowhere left to run. We will tell you everything we know about the masked creature as well as our theory. We'd like you to consider it from the perspective of someone who knows Felis Chalia. Once we are done, we'd like to hear your thoughts. Shit's insane. During the last expedition, when we were split up by the dragon's part, the masked creature attacked, leading a swarm of colorful monsters. We are talking about the time we advanced to the 53rd floor to meet up with you. The creature was searching for something. What if I was one back then? The masked creature wasn't searching for Ace, it was searching for you, Letheria. Was when you first entered Knossos with Nides and somehow made it out safe. We just couldn't understand how you managed to find a way out, even when Finn and I were hanging on by a thread. But if the person besides you had been a double agent working with the enemy, it would have been possible for you to escape Knossos' traps. I think it would be best to search for the exit. While I understand your desire to pursue your fallen comrades, finding a way out and soliciting help seems the wisest path. You think I can just leave a selfish, stubborn wreck like you to fend for yourself? Do you even care at all how I feel? What do you think? When we entered Knossos, the creature cut down the Captain Wald's group, fled to the lower floors, and we were separated from Bet. When it was just me, Miss Phyllis, and me by ourselves, that was the final piece. The creature with the red hair let me go, even though I had been left behind. But what if she hadn't let me go at all? What if she had just decided that she didn't have to bother herself since one of her comrades was standing right next to me? Why is she still alive? That was all a lie. I wanted to you to be alive. I wanted to be happy that you lived. But what are you talking about? That sinister elf and the masked bastard have been seen in the same place, and then you watch a monster eat her way in front of you. That's why I told you to cast aside your emotions. This is all because of your shameful behavior. They even smell like, what the hell is going on? Miss Phyllis only ever used 2 spells in front of us. The first was for an extremely short cast lightning, and the second was for a barrier. What if she had actually developed a third type of magic, one that she had kept hidden from us? Cloning magic. That shit's insane. It was cloning magic? What the hell? True culprit. You're not on you. You've got it all wrong. I'm on you. It's me. There's no way you were forced to drink divine spirits too. I don't believe that. I'm the mastermind. I'm the one who did everything. I'm asking you here, please stop this already. I don't want to see you embarrass yourself any more than this. But that had nothing to do with protecting Anya, right? Or was it blackmail? Sultan God was behaving oddly, so I went looking for him. And because I was careless, he kidnapped Josephine and my other followers. He said if I didn't do what he said, he would kill my children. I rejected it at first. But when I did, he killed one of them like it was nothing. I was shaking. And then he killed another one. I screamed, begging him to stop. And then another one. I started weeping, and another one. After deciding I was sufficiently broken, he told me, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to kill anyone. Just keep your mouth shut. He has his sly side, When he makes a deal, he keeps his word. I behaved myself and he didn't kill anyone. But if I did try anything, he would immediately slaughter my children, which robbed me of any will to resist. When Rocky attacked, I talked to Takamichi. But he couldn't understand a woman's heart. He asked me to help you. If you had believed him and tried to contact me, I definitely would have run away. I would have hidden here by myself to avoid suspicion. And that was why, by the time he noticed, it was already too late. I could never see through him. I never knew how twisted he really was. Even back in the heavens, I never understood him. The honest. The farce ends here. Well done, Loki. Buddy, what the fuck? Then which god did he kill? Oh, gods, I should say. The solution. How many? Oh, there's 26. So you figured me out, or I suppose I should say you saw through me. As expected, I couldn't pull off my fool's performance in front of you. Get over yourself. You intentionally kept yourself drunk in front of us. The vine wine I found it in the honest cellar when I was looking through it with Soma. You would drink divine spirits and whisper ideas to your own drunken reflection. You would tell yourself you were a righteous God, that you had joined hands with us to fight evil, that kind of bullshit. And in the state you were in, you actually believed that crap. You gave yourself a split personality on purpose just to avoid suspicion. That's actually really small, what the fuck? You used divine spirits to brainwash yourself into actually believing you were just a god. Right after you blasted off, I really thought it was Dimitri. I was following the clues you left while drunk. First of all, I was suspicious about whether Dimitri could even make a crazy potent wine. Perfume is the harvest. Even if she could gather the ingredients for the wine, did she really have a handle on how to make it? She may have just been hiding it. Tricks and lies are part of and parcel for the gods, right? It wasn't conclusive, just enough to raise the question. That didn't fit quite right was that the number of deities sent back to the heavens and the number of deities left didn't match. There was the one who was supposed to be you, and then there was Thanatos who went flying right in front of me. But I noticed that one other deity had gone missing, someone else besides Dimitri, who had gone into hiding. There's no more point to it, but since we are already here, let's check your work all the way to the end. If it was me who was sent back to that pillow. Yeah, who was it? Just a random god? Or goddess? Pinea. Oh, that old witch. Before we busted in this time, I stopped by to visit the location where the residents of the Addis Street are taking refuge. The children of the slums were saying I haven't seen Lady Pinea around lately. In addition to getting yourself drunk to give yourself suggestions, you got Pinea drunk to make her your puppet. may have been the scapegoat, but the goddess of poverty was the one who really took the fall. There was another reason you got Pinea drunk. It was so that you could convert all her children to be your followers of Pinea. Yeah, even got your own followers drunk, probably when you were updating the status. You tricked your kids into thinking Pinea was dishonest. And the start of all this, you said some shit about revenge for your children who were killed. But those were just the ones who sobered up and started to realize they weren't your followers anymore, right? You disposed of them, right? You got it in one shot. Everything is exactly as you say. You have left me nothing to add. Pinea was really a magnificent cover for me. As soon as my plan became feasible, I immediately thought of using her as a backup when it came to looking for the culprits. Of course, she's a deity herself. That old coot did a good job leaving behind a hint for me. What's that? I would recognize that wine from somewhere else besides in your wine cellar. When I first ran into her on the Alder Street to investigate, she was holding that exact same bottle of wine. I forgot she could be a real glutton. And after I warned her not to drink more than I was necessary, she was drinking extra on the side and hiding it from me, huh? You have it all correct. You really were the one deity I never wanted to have as an enemy. How was it that you became convinced that I was on you? It's gotta be Hestia, right? Been the prime suspect, even if you had your doubts, and Pinea's wine bottle supports your theory. You could just as easily use it to argue the revenge that really was sent back, and Pinea had been making himself drunk to avoid suspicion. The truth is that it couldn't be shown until the very end. As you said, there was multiple possibilities. But that was when I remembered what the shrimps had said. Hestia? While we were watching you, I talked with her about a couple of things. About how you acted back up in the heavens, about your sickness, and the way you tried to pick fates with other gods just like I did. And that shrimp didn't call you strange or weird. She said you were scary. As much as I hate to admit it, and I really do hate it, I believed her. That's all. Hestia again, huh? She's been ruining my plans ever since our time in the heavens. That troublesome goddess. That masked creature is your follower, right? That's exactly right. My cute little Ein. A third spell that she never revealed. Cloning magic. On the 53rd floor, when the captain's crew was fading, I heard that the masked creature had evaded Lady Revere's magic. The bizarre blizzard lowered everyone's visibility to flee from the attack. But what if that wasn't an escape? What if it was so simple of undoing a spell? It was able to escape in a split second. The blizzard obscured our vision. Just how fast is that thing? If there were two of you, Miss Phyllis, then that would resolve all the inconsistencies. From so little information, lucky family isn't to be trifled with. I guess I was a fool to leave you any clues. Your ego hindered Lord Dionys's plan. You should be ashamed of yourself, Phyllis. Their personalities seemed independent of one another. Aren't they the same person? Is it a split personality? It's almost like we are seeing Phyllis's internal conflict externally. Are you a monster like the redhead or not? Did it have to be with the flow? Have to do with the Flow 27 nightmare? What, you have come this far? Just tell her. You want to explain yourself to your beloved Letheria, right? Just tell her so she'll sympathize and comfort you. Or should I tell her? You're right. On the day that nightmare, I was sullied, or rather, I was corrupted. Back then, I was filled with pride and that I was very fragile. I considered myself an envoy of Voodoo with the rest of my family, and I lost myself escaping from that hell. And that was where we encountered it. The corrupted spirit's avatar. The others were wiped out, leaving me behind. There was no time to fight back. It was overwhelming. A tragedy broke my spirit. Then you abandoned your party. It was if you turned tail and ran like a coward. When did you become a monster? Stop. She didn't run away. I heard them crying for help, so I turned to face it, and it killed me. It was an utterly meaningless race to death. You can guess the rest, right? No, I can't. Get away. One. It was over quickly. The spirit embedded a magic stone into what was left of that elf's evil what? Eviscerated corpse, and new Felis was born. It was no coincidence that the spirit's avatar was on the 27th floor that day. It was drawn by the smell of blood. It was looking for new feelers from the large number of adventurers gathered there. Embedded magic stones in the other adventurers too, of course, but Felis was the only one to be reborn. So when Bose and others found you despairing in Letheria, that wasn't because you had abandoned your familiar. No, it was the anguish of being degraded into a monster. After that, I tried to kill myself. Too many times to count. I tried everything I could think of, but I just couldn't die. How severely I was burned, or how deeply I was cut, the wounds would just heal. Why don't we try to get along? What is your name? I want to see the sky, fulfill my wish. I developed the cloning magic after I became like this, and then he appeared, someone who loved me as I was. You grieve and suffer, but you tried to hang on to your pride. You are beautiful. I love you. I am in love with your beauty. That's right, I love you no matter what. If you can't forgive yourself, then let's make all the other children the same as you. To me, at that time, his words were salvation. He said that he loved me even though I was so unclean. And that was the only path I had left, because he was the only one no one would accept. Ouija of Orun. Ouija. What the fuck is that? You're a little piece of shit. You helped me, and after all I did to save my beloved children, my beloved Phyllis, who was broken in body and spirit, and above all I praised her. I honored Phyllis for sacrificing her familiar comrades, living on, and proving the existence of the corrupted spirit with her own body. There was nothing more gratifying. I knew right away it would become the key to my plan. Why are you trying to destroy her warrior? To correct the mortal realm. The mortal realm is impure. As it is now, gods and goddesses do as they please. We must return things to how they were meant to be. How they were meant to be. I'm sure you know, Loki. Unlike the adventurers of today, heroes of the past did not have any blessings when they faced the monsters. Those valiant heroes did not have the protection of any deity and were overwhelmed at first. However, as time passed, they started to resist and eventually became able to push back. They grew, those children, I won't deny. They were miracles wrought by the spirits sent from the heavens. But those heroes overcame mortal limits and with nothing more than their own strength. Without borrowing the power of a fauna to draw out the potential with only their noble blood, and choose an undying will. Were really monstrous, just giant clumps of the unknown. That was a warrior, pure and unadulterated. The path taken by children, one to each deity, should pay the ultimate respect. That was the reason. That is why this mortal realm has no need for deities. I don't care if you call me cruel or self-righteous or evil. I will use any means necessary to open the gates of hell. To manifest that realm of death for the life to shine again. I will turn the world to the wonderful era. I will bring the age of gods to an end. Liar, you just want to see children screaming and crying. You went through the trouble of decorating this place with these mules, proof enough of your rotten core. You just want to see children running for their lives, crying and broken. You want to witness an Ouija. If you get that far, it's just boring. You don't know anything about me, yet you still saw through everything. But you are right, you were spot on. There was only one thing I want. The sweetest feast of madness. Those days before the heroes flourished, when the mortal world was overrun by monsters. That was the best. Those screams could boast eardrums filling the air as everyone ran in terror from ghastly horrors. My heart would always race as I watched them from the skies above. Did you know, right after weakened, frail children shook off the bonds of reason, they laughed. A devastating melt of fear turns into a magnificent climax, and no mind and soul are released. Feast and wine cannot compare to that ultimate moment when euphoria, euphoria, it could only found among the bloody entrails torn out by monster fans. Those charming young maidens offered their own bodies in sacrifice, giving themselves as an offering to me. The crazed cries of children are even better than the finest wines. But what paradise came to an end with the arrival of the age of gods. It's all Uranus' fault, because that old god made a secret deal and sealed the whole. The monsters rampage in that hellish landscape indeed. My Oja disappeared. Exactly. That senile old shit is still offering up prayers. Thanks to him, I could never be satisfied. Even back in the heavens, he always got in my way. Every last one of those pieces of trash ruling over Olympus did. And speaking of the heavens, let's not forget about Hestia. That stupid goddess got my way too. After I worked so hard to draw the gods into a murderous conflict to create an orgia in the heavens. I guess that shrimp is useful every now and then. Serves you right, you disgusting worthless drunk. Careful now, Loki. I wouldn't want my hand to slip and slit your throat. In any case, it may have been for the best. If she hadn't stopped me, I would have been consumed by bloodlust and unable to control myself. You bastards could never experience a true orgia. I can't love that. I can't be fulfilled by it. It's wrong. And that's why I'll bring hell to the mortal realm. I'll create the ultimate orgia. Darkest divine will. Oh shit, I picked the one fucking party. So basically you couldn't do it in the heavens, so you were trying to do it here instead. That's why you took this roundabout path. If I messed up even a little and used my arcanum, even if the land was obliterated between the other deities and the world's ability to fix itself, it would just end up as if it had never happened. If I wanted to achieve my goal using my own power, then I would have to get rid of everyone besides myself. So instead I chose to bring about the destruction of the mortal realm within the confines of its own rules. It's about what you said when we were at the grave of your children. Was that apology a lie too? Don't misunderstand me. At that time, I was apologizing from the depths of my heart to my children who had died early. Yes, those were my sincere feelings for losing no lives so carelessly before the promised time. Sorry I couldn't offer you up along with Oa and everyone else. I'm sorry you weren't awarded a beautiful death, fulfilling our agreement when you became part of my familia. Don't misunderstand, I love my children just like you do. I just love them in my own way. Fearless is an extension of that. I love that thing maybe more than anyone else. How it despaired its own existence, its lamentation was close to destruction. Did not tell me that Oliva's act had lived on as a creature. It must have been because he thought I might rebel against him, or because he thought it would get in the way of his plan. I was nothing more than a single cog in a machine to him. And of all things, that was the day I met you. You were not unclean. At the very least, I didn't want you to die. That's what I thought as I carried out Lord Dionys's orders. When you told me that magic I shared with you had saved your friends, I desperately regretted it, but at the same time I was happy. Because you proved that my magic could do something for protecting precious people. You are a noble elf achieving something I can never again do myself. Then let's fight together, Miss Phyllis. There's still time, one more time like we did before. Because I'm Lord Dionys's follower. But he's just using you as a pawn. He doesn't think of you as a follower. I suppose I am. But I still can't. It's already too late. It is because you already know my true nature. You know about my sullied body, my corrupted soul. Said I was beautiful, he was the only one that would hold me even though my body is like this. You said I was beautiful before too, how about now? Can you still say that? That magic stone in her chest cavity. There's your answer. You don't have any regrets. Now there will be no more disruptions to Lodianus' plan. Even if he's using you, he loves you. What you have been babbling on about rage, despair, hatred, you fostered all of that on me. You push all your dirty work onto me. You were never as pure as you pretended to be. We have already killed too many people. Banshee is a fitting name. Just how many people have we hunted down for getting too close to the truth about Anya? Entire parties of adventurers, even our own familia. Can you cover for the monster that watched on as Oa's group was started? There was no turning back for me. I'll bury you along with all my lingering attachments to this world. If only I had met you before Lord Dionys. At the end of the illusion, a spirit returned, forming an unbreakable bond. In cell, on cell. Is that the real Miss Phyllis? Let's bring this to an end, shall we? Right, please stay still. Cut the crap. That's a traitor, an enemy, that's all it is. Hey traitor, how are you feeling? I'm feeling awful after listening to your sob story. I bitch about it now. I don't give a shit about your stupid pity party. Just keep festering for what little is left in your life. So none of my attacks will work, so it won't last until she kills me, eh? You were always like that way, Wolf. You were always looking down on me, but you never abandoned me. You always tried to break down my walls with that foul mouth, trying to encourage me you are kind. I've always looked down on you for that, and mocked you in my heart. They're getting fucked up. While incels is active, my status is halved. Ironically, it seems I was made for this right now. I'm even stronger than Revis. Why did you come? Why did you have to come here? I did everything I could. I even hurt you. I even killed myself to keep you away from here. I didn't want you to I didn't want to have to kill you. There's no letting anyone go anymore. I can't let anyone who live here alive. I will kill everyone, everything. All shall perish. Funnery chain number 2, despair. Knossos 10th floor. After all we did to break it, do we really have to smash it in all 3 of these disgusting faces? Healing droplets, tears of light, internal sanctuary. Its range is unlimited as far as we are in here. It can attack from anywhere. If this continues, we are... The healers are down. This is bad. Give me a shield. Lady of Reveria. Don't leave my defenses. It's no good. The trolls can't hold on any longer. We're all monsters here, right? We should be fighting with claws and fangs, not magic. Where the hell did Fells take rules anyways? This is the 5th squad. We can't attack the target. If there is at least one left. The tanks have been wiped out. We can't defend against the magic. If a mid gets taken out, we... Do any squads have anyone to spare? Can anyone back us up? Keep attacking. It's focused on the back lines. Then it must be open at the front. I don't care now. How? Just crush that defense system. There are particles of red light coming out from the ground. What's going on? Do I hear a song? No way. Is this a chant? Why do I have a feeling that this is really, really bad? We're at our limit. We can't hide it from the residents anymore. The adventurers remaining above ground have already started to realize what's happening. It's too late. Dionysus' plan was perfect. Because of my weakness, because of my betrayal, the city, the whole mortal realm is going to be destroyed. No. Not yet. Here's destiny. I'm a little ashamed to be able to move around in secret while Braver and Lid and the rest of them are fighting for their lives. There are several opponents to the 10th floor where the magic circulates. This is the last one. With the 6 demi-spirits as its core, this won't stop the ritual or destroy the city. But I can at least disturb the altar covering Knossos. I've finished up on my own. The Chamber's house and the main bodies of the demi-spirits won't run out of magic. But the same can't be said for everywhere else. Any obstacles that may hinder our follow-up have been removed just as we planned. The time has come. I said not yet. It's far too soon to give up. Has been shoved in. Now is when Uranus will give his order. They're going to move now, all our forces. Send in everyone. Go tall. Very familiar. They are here. With the stage set with precision, there's no way we wouldn't come. Himself would come to me. I would like for you to hear my request. So you should understand the situation. You are going to tell me that you can win on your own right. Even so, I would ask you to please fight together with us. To be absolutely certain we win this battle where there will be no wealth or glory to be won. There are those of us who have sworn to protect the innocent people. We must win this together with everyone. That becomes clear the moment the enemy chose the name on you. Like the heroes of the past who brought peace to the mortal realm, we are going to weave together a new oratoria. Like the gods wish for. This is not for Loki, but for out of respect for your honor. I shall heed your request. That child became before me alone, and it demonstrated both the resolve to achieve victory and the temperament befitting a hero. That would render me more naked than an emperor with new clothes. Loki's vanguard has already cleared the path to the demi-spirits, so my children can just hit them to their heart's content, right? I'm the one who rises occasions when the city's in danger. We are Ganesha. That's correct. Or are you still going to throw a tantrum? If you say that Paloom has demonstrated the capacity of a hero, the goddess loves thoughts and flowers. Do you know what that means? The goddess did not extol us, but braver. Do you understand what that means? We are going to exterminate the weeds, weakling, wrecking havoc on our goddess. What a wonderful night. A supreme night filled with the battle cries of powerful warriors. This will be the greatest feast to make up for our fate against Freya. Let's run wild. Yes, Callie. Wait for me, friend, the strong male who defeated me. You think we'll lose to Callie? Let's go. Let's hurry, Aisha. We've got to rescue Bet Loga. Save the city, you mean? Didn't that werewolf tell you to stay back? Like I would listen to him in a situation like this. Can't protect her, man. Everyone's getting all worked up. Shall we go quietly? I'll make up for the trouble I caused last time. What was that? Those don't sound like panicked voices. Are those the adventures? No, the warriors' battle cry. And I already said I had enough of this kind of dangerous stuff. Going to go according to homie's plan. The world wants heroes. There wasn't enough pieces on the board, so I had to play my ace up my sleeve, even with all our forces gathered. To drive away darkness, you need a bright light, a resounding Bell to save the chosen ones, the final hero shoulder in the promised era. The truth is, I wanted to keep this in reserve, but I don't see any other way. Even though it's a battle that will never be sung in the epics, please save the world just this once. For the sake of the world, I am playing the Joker. Is this okay? Getting into risky business way after we got back from an expedition. What can we even do down here? It's a mission, so there's no choice but to go. Besides, we should help if we can be of any assistance. Shall we get going? I get it, okay? I knew something had to be up when Lord Hermes sent such an expensive piece of equipment to support Master Bell's arm. No, what the fuck?